remember watching the great film The Viking, but he was there, and the great Kirk Douglas lost an eye during that. But you imagine him before he lost his eye. Keep an eye out for you. Well, he is gesticulating with the best gestic there is around, and he's just doing his limbering up. Michael, good evening to you. There's an Eyre in the house.
Good evening, Nigel.
Yeah, good. You're looking well. Tell us a bit about what you've been up to, the business, and how life is for you at the moment.
Well, the equipment business has taken a bit of a hit. I'm sure Mr. Hobbs will agree with me there. Over the last couple of months, we just got out of Hotel Olympia, or whatever they call it now, is it HRC? And then a couple of weeks later, we were told that everybody was going into lockdown. So that was a little bit of a shocker. I think we knew it was coming, but end of March, we decided to furlough about 90% of our employees. We employ about 100 people, so there were about 10 left running the business. And our March turnover was approximately 8% of its predicted, of our predicted total turnover for the business. So that wasn't great, to say the least. It's slowly returning. I think we're quite fortunate in what we do. We've got two very different sides of our business. We've got a sales of equipment side, and we've got a service side. We've got 50 odd engineers out on the road fixing the equipment that we sell. And most of that work comes from the QSR side of the business. So KFC, Wagamama's, Nando's, JD Wetherspoons are probably four of our bigger customers. And with them all reopening this coming weekend, hopefully we'll start seeing a little bit more movement on the service side of things. Equipment sales have been pretty good over the last couple of months. We're a little bit ahead of where we thought we were going to be moving into this last couple of months. May and June have both been pretty good months for us. So it all seems to be heading in a fairly positive way. I'm sure our service company are looking forward to Wednesday when JD Wetherspoons decide to turn on 860 fryers on the same day. There may be one or two service calls off the back of that. So it's.
It won't. We got a supply of chips. You'll be fine. They ain't going to be getting any. We won't be turning them on. There
is that, and apparently there's quite a lot of oil floating about as well. So we'll be.
I've not even thought about that. The bloody fire crews must be on standby. They'll be. Yeah.
It's quite interesting, Nigel. One of the first things I had to do when because I went off on furlough as well. From the 23rd of March, but I was keeping in touch with one or two people, and one of the very first things we were asked for was a guide on how to restart equipment that's been left for a while, because fryers have oil in them, as we all know, but oil, once it's cooled down and been left for a while, goes quite gummy. And there's quite a lot of moving parts in frying equipment. So understanding how to bring it back to life without issue is quite a challenge. And KFC have been bringing back their frying equipment over the last couple of months, and I think they're at about 800 stores open now, doing fantastic numbers. And I think something's just popped up from Steve there. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be parts of this industry that do incredibly well, and there's going to be parts that struggle. And I think the old favourites, the McDonald's, the KFCs and the like, of they've got 2,500 restaurants in the country between them. They're busy. They're doing good numbers. Some of the KFC numbers I'm seeing through, they're doing almost 200% same store sales, and that's without being able to open their doors to people to sit down. That's delivery. That's people queuing up for an hour and a half to get a bag of fried chicken. So I think I was chatting to one of our shareholders earlier today, and he's he's based in London and walks through London quite regularly on his exercising routes and going to his office and bits and bobs. And he said it's so quiet in the West End of London. It's ridiculous. I don't know how many other people on the call here get into London very often, but it's yeah, that's not so encouraging. I think these air corridors that they're opening up may allow a few tourists in, so that's possibly a start to it. And obviously getting restaurants open and set up properly and safely, so people actually feel safe when they walk into them. I know certainly for one, I will not be heading to the pub this weekend, but early next week I may pop round to the local and go and have a pint just to say hello and try and offer a little bit of support. So I think it's, as long as everybody, and I know we keep saying it, as long as everybody's sensible and does what they're told, then hopefully we can get going.